when did you actually take the leap of faith to leave your home country to come to the States and to be a DJ?
Well, first time when it took a while for me to get the actual visa thing. It takes a lot of time, but now that I have an agency and everything, you know, it makes things a lot easier than just going by myself and ask for a visa. So ever since I got the visa, I'm pretty much like active. First time I came here was March. Yeah, my first gig was in Seattle in a huge festival, and then it was Miami during Ultra. And you know, ever since it's just like growing and growing, and I'm getting more shows, and you know, people enjoy themselves, so it's great.
Being in Israel when you were younger, we know that you had to take a break from music for a little bit. You had to go on tour with the armed forces and everything over there, so it's mandatory.
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was fun. I mean, it was an experience for me. It was 3 years. I met the best friends, you know, like they're like my family for 3 years. I was barely home, and I couldn't really make music. I maybe finished like 1 or 2 remixes in those 3 years. It's a good experience, you know. It made me more mature, more confident about myself as a person, and it's like a lesson for life, but it's just like, it makes you older when you're young, you know. Did
it influence your music at all?
Of course, there's a lot of stories, you know, a lot of adventures, and a lot of stuff is going on during those 3 years. So I used to record like melodies into my phone. I had this shitty Sony Ericsson phone. I just used to take it and record stuff into it, and go back home and actually try to make something out of it. That's how Reflect came up.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, there's a lot of influence from the army about my music, but yeah, but you know, it's just like I'm done with it, so I'm moving on. Like, you know, touring right now brings a lot of inspiration to my music.
So recently, members of Daily Beat were at Veld, and their Above and Beyond revealed that your song "Holding On" is very personal for you. What other songs that you've produced would you consider very dear and personal?
Pretty much every single. There's a story behind every single. I've been through some rough time in my life. That's pretty much when I make my singles. So there's a story behind every single. I mean, not like a public story, but for me it is like sort of an adventure. So I can say that every track pretty much is, you know, is something that I've experienced, comes from something, not even just something tragic or emotional. It's just, can be just even from just happiness or just hanging around, going on adventures. I think this Holding On was probably the most personal to me, yeah, because it was during rough time, but the rest are just like you know, good inspiration, just living life, basically.
How has working with Above and Beyond influenced your actual production of songs?
The good thing about Above and Beyond is that they gave me total freedom in everything I did. I think like the way that Anjunabeats are moving forward right now with the sound and not just like being stuck in the past is really refreshing. I think it's like, that's how it should be on every record label, because you could really recycle the same formula every time, you know? And Anjunabeats pretty much have like really high profile roster filled with artists that are actually thinking out of the box and trying to bring something new.
Right.
And still, you know, keep that Anjunabeats feeling in the tracks. And you know, I like it. And Above and Beyond are like really open-minded about it. And you know, it's been great. Like, they're really supportive in everything we do.
Are there any future collaborations that you're planning on doing?
There are a lot.
With whether it's anybody that's already involved in Anjunabeats or not? Is there anything that you can talk about?
Well, we're gonna premiere the new collaboration I did with Norn and Rad. I'm gonna premiere the track tonight. There's a lot of other collaborations with vocalists and a lot of new remixes as well. I can't say that much because it's way too early. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on.
Going along with the whole collaboration thing, what are the chances we could get you, Borglor, and A-Track to create an Israel House Mafia?
Well, I love Borglor. He's like, he's my buddy, and I wish we could actually make something. I believe it will happen in the future. A-Track, I don't know. It's like, it can be an actually interesting combo, you know, all three of us. But
well, it's because you're so diverse.
Yeah, I'm totally down for it. I think it's gonna be really interesting.
That would be absolutely hysterical. I would love to see that, honestly.
Me too, trust me.
I didn't write this question down, but since you mentioned Ultra, was that like a culture shock for you? Like, was that something that was completely different since it was one of your first time?
I think basically just being in the US is a culture shock for me because I've never been, you know, not even as a tourist. So it's pretty much everything was just like mind-blowing for me because I was here during like probably the most important weeks in the music industry, which was Ultra. And you know, just meeting all those people finally and just traveling all the time, drive from place to place, go to these parties, you know,
Right.
Realize that actually, you know, you have value and people appreciate you, and you like, you know, it's just fun, like blending in.
Would you rather educate a crowd or satisfy a crowd?
Satisfy a crowd. Eventually, everyone just want to dance. So a lot of people don't really care what you play as long as they make them dance and they enjoy themselves. You know, if like people were like me, like maybe like producers or DJs just going to parties and just stand there and analyze the music, that's education, you know. It's like, this is good, you know, this is nice, techno and everything, underground, I like that. Rather than just like surprise people and keep them satisfied. I think that's what dance music is all about, just dance.
So you have a very unique sense of humor, specifically on Instagram and Twitter.
Always.
Is there any sort of story behind it? Is there a reason behind it, or is that just you being you?
It's just me being me. I've always been a clown, always. Like, I can take something serious and just make fun of it. I love making fun of things. Like, I think in general, my view of life is people taking it too seriously.
Would you say you're better at hula dancing or bass killing?
Bass killing. I tried hula dancing a few times, I failed.
But your Twitter says you're a professional.
I am. Because I think so. But if I'm gonna go to a contest of, you know, hula dancing, I'll probably fail.
So my final question for the night, and then I will let you go, is, bro, do you even trance?
I never did. Technically, I never did. If you consider 128 to 134 as trance, then I don't know. I never did trance. I always did what I wanted to do. So yeah, hashtag trans family, whatever, I don't care. I'm just gonna make music. I don't like people classifying like people from trans family just keeping it trancey, like, dude, if it's not 140 BPM, you can just f off. But no, well, why do you think that 140 BPM is good? What if 128 is better? In my opinion, it's way better. You think 140, I think 128. But eventually, it doesn't matter. You can see the result on the dance floor. Hi, this is Maor Levi. You're in the mix with dailybeat.com. Meow, bitches.